Good evening and welcome everyone again to tonight's coverage of Asrnz's Race of Champions series, proudly sponsored by the good people at Race Command and, of course, us larrikins here at MatchFit Entertainment. It's round 6. We are at the fabulous Zandvoort. I'm Davo, and as usual, I have my two partners in crime here in J-Man and Rusty Shackelford. How are you doing this evening, gents?
Good, good. G'day, Rusty. G'day, Davo. Hope you're well.
G'day, mate. Doing very well. Round 6, Race of Champions, Zandvoort, Holland. I can tell you that the organisers of this championship did not consider the weight of the production crew and the travelling roadshow that goes from one race to the next. It has been a feeding frenzy backstage in the MatchFit Entertainment ranks. Because let me tell you, we've gone from Red Bull Ring, so it was schnitzel and pretzels last week. Here we are at Zandvoort, so it's going to be mayonnaise on chips and a lot of pastry and maybe some funny cookies. And next week we've got Monza. It's all going to be pasta and garlic bread and red wine. And then Watkins Glen to finish it off, hamburgers and hot dogs. They're trying to kill us.
Bit of pulled brisket.
Little pulled brisket. Yeah, the tailgating, J-Man. The tailgating at Watkins Glen. So
Yeah, I'm all over it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so, but as you mentioned, right here, Zandvoort tonight, and what is to be pretty much, by the most part, an Audi slash, you could argue, some KTMs out there, boys.
KTM, yep.
A little sprinkle of Lamborghinis in the mix there, but look, we're getting towards the pointy end. The choices are getting thin.
Yes.
We know we've got a gentleman's agreement going forward with the Ferrari at Monza, but look, all about tonight, and the Audis look good, guys, really good. Stewie Arrowsmith topping the leaderboard in official practice time, so it just makes way out on track as well. I just picked up that he's just let Vic Stappen through in the KTM. Smart play there, because the KTM carrot could be a good play on a hot lap to chase that car down.
I'm actually quite surprised of the performance of the Audi so far, J-Man, because we saw it perform really well, obviously, at Nürburgring, round 1. It was also, I think, a race winner and second place getter at Spa, race 2. So different kinds of tracks to Zandvoort. So I expected KTM to be top of the pops all the way, just because of the nature of the car and the nature of the track. They're really well suited. But yeah, the Audi, very strong, definitely in the hands of Stuart Arrowsmith, who we expect him to be up there. He's genuinely a consistent kind of top 5 performer on his day. But we saw in practice he was top of the timesheet by quite some margin too. I think it was about 4/10 up his sleeve as well.
Yep.
So that we took us all by a bit of surprise. Probably took Stu by a bit of surprise. But you reckon a bit of inside baseball, J-Man? You reckon you had a couple of words with him during the week and he was getting some practice in and just feeling good, feeling in the rhythm?
Yeah, and look, it's often as it is in real life. Motorsport's a confidence game, and Stu Arrowsmith at the moment, obviously. Getting to see a little bit of Stewie around the traps at the moment, and you and I were talking off camera just recently, and he's performing particularly well on the TA2 series at Hardcore. He's certainly no slouch in the Masters series over here at ASRNZ once a fortnight in those cars.
Back-to-back podiums.
Back-to-back podiums. Yeah, so he's definitely a guy in a real sweet patch at the moment as far as his form goes. He's I think he's really found something, and you could easily say it's within himself, because he's successful in multiple categories across multiple platforms at the moment. So long may it last, because he's a great character and proven to be a really fierce competitor. So yeah, really, really happy for him, and I hope things all go well tonight. Big news tonight, and sending out the apologies for Steve Rees. That's a real shame not to see our current series leader out on the grid here tonight. Now, he is level in the championship with Vic Stappen. However, on the premise of a countback, 7 race wins versus 5, provisionally, obviously, there's drop rounds and stuff to consider, is absent tonight. So that's a real shame. And, if if he has the ability, whatever he's doing, to tune in and say g'day, that'd be cool. But yeah, we will really miss Steve Rees out there tonight because he has been, a real contender for the series since turning up. So
Yeah, and it is a real shame because the series has been back and forward, nip and tuck, punch for punch, round for round, basically so far up until this point. Vic Chan and Steve Rees going at it, going hammer and tongs with Shane Fodderdo, very notable mention, only a couple of points behind himself. So it's very hot at the top of the championship. But this definitely blows it wide open for guys like John Carter, Stu Arrowsmith, if he has a strong performance tonight. There's a couple of guys who I think Vaughan Martin's currently P4 in the championship, is he not? So
P5.
P5, yeah. So John Carter P4, Vaughan Martin P5, Arrowsmith P6.
Not a lot of points between them.
No, and if this ends up being a drop round for Steve Rees, that would mean that his next worst, like the Porsche round that he drove, where he got a 9th and a 6th, if I'm not mistaken, which is a really good performance considering the circumstances. That will become, that will be part of his championship count at that point, because this will obviously be a drop round with 2 DNSs. So opens it up for 3rd place potentially with a couple of good runs.
It does. Now, an interesting thing that I can see up there. I'm just watching what I think is probably maybe the mental approach to this qualifying for Stewie. Obviously only 10-minute qualifying, still 4 minutes to go. Went out there, banked a great lap on a 36.0.
Didn't he? What?
Yeah, and then saw Vic Chan coming actually with a better lap. Not a better lap than Stewie's, but a better lap than what he had on board. Currently in there on a 6:45.
Smith's down another couple of tenths on this lap too, by the way. We're looking at a 35 here.
Yeah, he is coming up on Froddo in that big long-tailed Porsche, so I'm sure these guys will hold him up here. Froddo out of the way.
Out of the way.
McDonald also showing well on the deltas on his current lap, Jamie.
Yeah, probably not enough to improve, given that there's a pretty big step up the road to Vic Chan there on a 36.6 versus a 37.2. So he needs a fair bit. He's just dumped a fair bit out of the delta.
He did.
Stewie's going to press on into the 5s here.
Yeah, so nice work. Arrowsmith bettering his time there into the 5s.
Immediately pulls it up. Yep.
He's had enough.
That's a stand.
Yeah, look, that's confidence. And we just spoke about that. It's all about the confidence. Now, talking to him during the week, I only talked to him last night. He is feeling it. He's putting the time in, and it's showing. However, as you mentioned, Chan, McDonald, Carter, that's a great battle. Shane Fodderdo, we talked off camera earlier, Davo, about the boat tail Porsche that he's pedaling tonight. Now, I actually thought that he had a good handle on this thing around the circuit. I was actually quite surprised at the number that he was drawing out of that car. Everyone's complained about it. They say bad things about it. I don't want to hear it. I just, it's like it's blasphemy.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's terrible.
But
I love Porsches, but like this one in particular, it's awful. It's terrible.
It did seem to manage the cambered curbing, like the cambered nature of the track here at Zandvoort, though.
Well, Stu wrangled a podium out of it last week at Red Bull Ring, so that's just to follow up on what Jamie's saying there. Just shows what kind of touch he is in. I don't think any of us expected it to be, getting podiums. So it's definitely a far cry from where we saw the current championship leaders in, the sort of around the top 10 mark when they took it.
When they had it,
So maybe it's a bit of collective, learning that's going on in the field. People are getting more used to it now. They're seeing it on track more. Maybe, the times are coming down a little bit. That could be a factor too.
And look, it just, at the hands of other drivers, like, it probably doesn't suit everybody's style. That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
Minute 30 to go here. Vic Chan is 8 tenths away from P1 at the moment. I wonder if he's just cycling around to give it one more crack here before we're done.
It looks like. And Scotty Rivers out there tonight in the plus 700 something horsepower Mercedes. About 8.5, 9 tenths up on that. Currently sitting down there in P15 at the moment. So
it's an interesting choice here, because I don't suspect you'd get the best side of the Merc here, would you? The straight isn't really long enough, and the back straight is kind of not really a straight at all. It's got a couple of kinks in it. It's really easy to lose grip around there too. It's really easy when you come over those crests to just lose the car underneath you for a split second, and that can mean wall time, So
Yeah, and then I talked to a couple of drivers during the week. I think Stewie was possibly one of them. Can't confirm or deny, but they talked about that horsepower advantage and saving that for the likes of Watkins Glen, quite a fast, flowy track, and whether or not that would suit that there as opposed to here. Hence why we might be seeing a lot of Audis in the field tonight as opposed to Mercs.
And the big straight at the back of Watkins Glen, I don't remember the name of it, before the bus stop chicane. That's like, that's akin to En Rouge at Spa, like coming around the turner, and then it's flat for a good long time. So you want those extra horses in their bridles, don't you? Look, you want them ready to go for that.
Well, you're flat from the second you leave turn 1, permitting that the cars make up through the roller coaster there. You are flat from turn 1.
All the way through, yeah.
All the way to that chicane. So a lot of horsepower advantage possibly there. Vic Chan, you mentioned cycling up for a better lap. He has got more. He's got 3.5 or backing down. He's sort of lost something as he's come out of there. It's maybe 2.5.
Yeah,
he will improve though.
It was looking pretty healthy actually, and looking like he might have dipped into the 35s there himself, J-Man. But yeah, like you said, bled a bit of speed off.
Well, what a statement! 0.6 of a second on the field, Stewie Aerosmith. That is
big.
Massive.
It's over a second back to P3, and you're looking at John McDonald, John Carter, Steve Wilton. These guys aren't slow.
No.
So that shows he really is in tune with that Audi. I just want to raise the question though that I'm yet to be convinced. Let's see what it's like at the end of the 30-minute race. I know the KTM is going to be strong at the end of this race because it's a car that's built to go fast around corners, right? And there's a lot of that here at Zandvoort. So I know it's going to be strong at the end of the race. Let's see how the Audi goes.
Yeah, well, I said it on the chat in official practice, Rusty, and somebody piped up, and a couple of boys piped up about the performance of Stewie's lap time, and he did mention, look, it is a great one-lap car.
Yeah.
However, he's optimistic about the nation. So we're going to find out for sure.
Definitely. Look, here's the thing, though. He's got 0.6 up his sleeve. Now, is it worth just holding a little bit back for 10, 15 minutes and just keep a good pace, but no need to, put quali laps, at the start of the race and just save a little bit for the end when you know those KTMs are going to be coming?
For sure.
Shit, no, just flog it like you stole it.
So, top 10, Stu Aerosmith, Vic Chan, John McDonald, Carter, Wilton, Damien Jones, Jacques Jones, Vaughan Martin, Steve Melling, and Frodo eventually sliding down into 9th. Sam Carson in 10th. Shields, Turner, Kenny Simpson sneaking in there as well in 13. Bear Grylls and Scotty Rivers. Let's have a look at the points, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we touched on this a little bit earlier, but you will see, viewers, on your graphic, as I mentioned, Steve Rees, top of the table based on count back of race wins, but is not here tonight. So that's massive. We'd prefer he was here to fight this thing out. However, sometimes things get in the way. So, obviously, Vic Chan 960. Sorry, Rusty, carry on.
Yeah, you've got a big out, J-Man, but you've also got a big in. So can we just give a little tip of the hat to Sam Carson? We know Carson, regular podium getter in the GT3 series. He's been doing some life things. I think you'll find that he was trekking around Uganda and the Congo, and he was looking for a special kind of tree that gets monkeys drunk when they swing on the branches. So, a big expedition overseas, but he's back in GT2 form. So have a look at that. Sam Carson qualified 10th too for his first race back. So a little bit of loosener, a little bit of warming back into it. It's been a while, but good to see Carson back on the grid.
Yeah, well, he's well-travelled. I wonder if maybe next year I might hit him up and see if he wants to flip pineapple fritters.
Yeah, let's combine all these talents, I think. We'll become the new Avengers with these special powers we've all got.
But, as we mentioned, Chan in there on 960 in second position, equal points to Steve Rees, followed by Shane Fodderdo, who you just mentioned, qualified in P9, 948. Then we drop into the 800 category. That is John Carter, 842, Vaughan Martin, 834, and then Stu Aerosmith, 832. So Stu Aerosmith looking to make big gains here out of P6 in the championship. Steve Melling with a good qualifying, P8, currently sitting 7th in the championship, some 32 points down below Stu Aerosmith. Then Neville Shields. Neville Shields looked good tonight in official practice. So
Well, they're actually equal on points. It's just a count back situation again between Melling
Exactly.
and Shield. So.
Yep. And then Steve Wilton, been great to see Farmer back for the series.
It has. Yeah.
And then Phil Turner in 10th. Aaron Enright, obviously we've lost Aaron at the moment. Kenny Simpson, Scotty Rivers, rounding out the 13. And then you can see that Damien Jones, John McDonald down there in P15, 16 here tonight. And then Bear Grylls hasn't made too many rounds this one, but he is here tonight. So Bear will jump the likes of Phil Davison, who is still trying to battle through these PC issues and get back. And no Geordie Moss tonight.
Yeah, and a little bit of paddock news for you, J-Man. Special an RIP for Phil Davidson's computer. If we could all wear black armbands today here at Zandvoort for Phil Davidson's computer. It gave up the ghost. We were actually going to drive together in the iRacing Watkins Glen 6 hour last weekend.
Yep.
We're all teed up for that. And, you know, day before, the hard drive goes kaput. Yep. So I tell you, look, you know, you guys know me from the stream and you know me from the grid and all that kind of thing. I think I am the most unlucky person when it comes to endurance racing. We now legitimately think that there is a curse on whatever car I'm in, and we're going to put a Grim Reaper now on the livery every single time to try and bounce the curse back. You know?
Okay, so there's a shout out. We'll use our reach. Matchfit Entertainment does have a little bit of reach these days.
And we do have curse powers, don't we, here at the commentary box?
If you're looking for an enthusiastic endurance driver, please contact us at Matchfit Entertainment. We have a very, very unlucky commentator / endurance driver that would love to get his bum in a seat in some sort of enduro. So reach out to us and we'll see if we can put a drive together for Rusty Shackleton.
You put me on the team when you want to finish an hour into a 12-hour race and go, all right, well, let's go to the pub then. I guess we're doing that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Watch it on the big screen.
Exactly.
Bloody hell.
Warming up here. I'm looking forward to this. Critical here at Zandvoort. People have the ability to go a little bit crazy on cold tyres and cold brakes. As we know, these GT2s do take a few laps to really kind of settle in and warm up. So definitely on the lookout here for any first lap incidents. There's a big chance of it. Big braking zones, you know, people sticking the nose in, thinking they have more space than they do. It's quite a thin, skinny track. So
it is. Well, it just doesn't go. It just doesn't go straight anywhere except for the start-finish straight. No, it just curves all the way. So very technical circuit, very undulating, good elevation change. So a bit of a roller coaster. This one.
It's definitely a fun hot lapping track. You know, one that you can just put a podcast or some music on and just do lap after lap, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, keys to the start of this race, I believe, and I'm going to pick on Stewie Aerosmith here with this exceptional qualifying that he's just completed, is from the inside of the grid here, is to get a great start and then cover the inside line. Do not run it deep at turn one. There's heaps of camber down into the inside of turn one. You've got to be down in there. Vic probably won't be able to drive around the outside of him there, I wouldn't think, because it does round out of camber. So even if he sits a quarter of a car length wide of that, he should be safe. So it'll come down to that. We'll give the race start to Davo.
Yes. Oh, look, plenty going through the minds of these boys as we speak. They're rolling towards the start-finish line in this Asrnz's Race to Champions Series, round 6. We're at Zandvoort, and
good jump from Stewie.
Stewie needed that. McDonald, everybody in position. That is Farmer down the inside, taking a bit of contact. Was John McDonald into one, J-Man. Melling tucked in behind that little battle as well.
He's lost a few more spots out of it too, Farmer, by the way. Just caught the grass a little bit after that. Lost another 3 positions.
A little bit untidy there. Melling back into... Wilton only dropped 1 position, actually. I think he qualified in 5th. So Carter snuck past him. Fudado holding his own. Plenty of action going on in the background. Carso's dropped a position. Simpson's dropped a position. Very, very quick undulating track this. Pretty clean start, boys, there. Very technical.
Very clean.
Yeah, I think it was just deceiving because I think Farmer made about 17 positions at turn 1 and then just, had to yield them all as he blew it.
Well,
But yeah, pretty optimistic under brakes with Steve Wilton.
Definitely no go-kart.
No. But hey, look, great start from Stewie Arrowsmith. Pulled a little gap. Vic sort of stabilised it now. He's trying to go with, but I think in the opening phase, the opening 10 minutes of this race, I think Vic's going to have a hard time going with Stewie if he's keeps it nice and clean, because he's just got so much pace in that car.
Yeah, I'm just riding on board with Vic Chan right now, J-Man, funnily enough that you mention it. I feel like now is the time, even though it's really early, Vic's got to hook right onto the back of that Audi, because I think he's got maybe another 2 or 3 laps until that Audi's in peak operating window, and then if he's not close enough behind to get the drag down the straight that he's going to need in the KTM, then it's going to be a long race trying to chase him down, I think. So got to stay in that draft.
Got to stay in that draft.
Vaughan Martin up 3 positions, boys.
Fodado, Turner and Simpson all in the pits.
Okay, early stops. We'll keep an eye on that. Another one as well, Bear Grylls, obviously, with those 3 stoppings, made 3 places, same with Scotty Rivers, so that'll shake itself out post-pit stop.
Who's that off the track? Oh, that's Vaughan Martin off the track, and well off the track. We'll see if we can pick up on a replay of that.
Yep. Okay, so a relatively short pit stop. Shane Fodado, fastest of those first 3 out there, 5 seconds and 28 overall. 6 and 7 for Phil Turner and Kenny Simpson, and we'll just see that replay.
Oh, big air off the inside curb there.
Just like we mentioned during qualifying, it's quite easy to lose the car underneath you in that fast section on that back straight. Yeah, look, it didn't take much, did it? It did not take much. Just kind of to the inside of that curb.
I'm not sure if he grabbed the wall. I don't think he did. I think he may have cleared the wall.
Might be a little incidental side damage, but it's definitely better taking it on the side in that car than it is the front or the back, that's for sure.
So we're going to get a read. It was just under 6/10 lap 1. It's just over
stabilizing.
Yeah, stabilizing for sure.
I mean, what's a good draft distance? I would have thought 5 to 6 tenths is probably the extent of it. I don't think you want to be further out than that, do you? You
don't want to break a second, I don't think. But just looking at them, you know, we talk about the KTM being an incredibly good handling car in the middle phase of the corner.
Looking quite strong, isn't it?
It does look good through turns 2, 3, 4. However, when we get to this fast flowing stuff, this is where you see Stewie starting to stretch the legs as they come down the hill here. Really starting to make margin as they wind down the hill. Vic incredibly good under brakes and maybe a little bit through the tighter stuff. So it's going to be a little bit of an arm wrestle, I think, for a bit.
He'll make time through here specifically. This is a high aero part of the track here, and watch him zone right up onto the back of the Audi in front during this little sector here.
But we saw 6.685 or something across the line. Blew out to 0.9. We should see it probably stabilise as they come down to this final chicane. I suspect Vic through the chicane's probably pretty handy. Just over a second now, so you're probably out of the draft now too. In the interim, McDonald with a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, on the 3rd lap. So that Audi now is just starting to get into its operating window, right? Its peak operating, session. And look at it now. You're right. He's starting to just get away from the corners a little bit easier. I feel like Vic's just pushing it a little bit harder to try and keep up. So, just starting to break him here.
Let's try and get a read on this lap time for Stewie.
It's a good
36.2, plays a 36.5. So it's just broken that second barrier as they were coming down the straight. Just crushed a little into turn 1. But, look, Farmer recovered well off the start of that race after that little incident. He's tucked in between John Carter and Damien Jones, who's Damien Jones come out strong here, race 1. Steve Malik up at a couple of spots also. Boys, particularly good start to the race. Well, he's actually up 1 by my calculations, but Nev Shields up 3 positions.
It's just good to see too, going off the back of yourself there, J-Man. Wilton and Jarks, both very strong performances last week at Red Bull Ring. Jarks showed tremendous pace. Steve Wilton was fighting for a podium the race win in race 2, and then was eventually, unfortunately, taken out. So very good pace, and it's good to see them back, 5 and 6 so far tonight. You mentioned Steve Melling. He's doing what Steve-O does, doesn't he? He's always there. He's always sniffing around. He's Mr. Consistent in the Pro-Am field, that's for sure. So it's good to see them all. We're talking 3 Pro-Am guys there. So all inside the top 10. You've got Nev Shields in P8. He's an AM class, so that's your highest AM class runner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The returning Sam Carson, followed by Bear Grylls. But Fotido, he's going to slip in there. I would suggest, what, around the Carter-Wilton battle, J-Man? Is that what you think?
Or maybe
Jones,
back another one.
Jones Melling.
Yeah.
Right.
Jones Melling's my call. He had a particularly good stop, which is in his favour. And I wondered whether the early stop was an aid of trying to get fresh air on the front of that Porsche.
Wilton in.
Okay, so Farmer in the lane.
Looks like he pulled it up pretty neatly. Is that Martin in as well?
So Martin's been in. Okay, Martin's been in, and now he's come back in. So I'm not sure what's happened there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
And Bear Grylls in the pits.
Yeah, he did do a 6-second stop previously, so I didn't think there was anything wrong with his first stop.
Wilton's out.
Yeah, Wilton out of the lane, and he does it.
Goes down the straight. It's going to be close here because they concertina right up with that pit exit where it is.
They do.
But
So
Wilton with clean air.
That Porsche looks a proper handful.
Oh, doesn't it?
It's really hard to get around the turns here.
Love the body language on that thing.
Oh, it looks like it's on ice if you're riding on board with Shado at the moment.
Well,
it doesn't look fun at all.
Shane's a spectacular driver at the best of times, but when he's muscling this thing,
he's being tested tonight. That's for sure.
isn't he what?
Currently 1.8 seconds, 1.7 to 1.9, Stu Arrowsmith to Vic Chan. So, like you said, Rusty, that Audi's in its operating window at the moment and looking pretty comfortable. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but he does look good.
Yeah, definitely looking good because the lap times that they're quick, but they're also very consistent, J-Man, and that's the indicator, isn't it? Good, fast, repeatable laps is what you want. Average lap time beats fastest lap every single race of the week. So, if you can consistently put in those laps, then it starts to break the hearts of those chasing.
Yeah, 36.4 for Aerosmith, plays a 36.9 for Chan, and I tell you what, they are the only two cars lapping in the 36-second bracket.
Wilton's just had a little excursion there through the sand trap, and Fotido just caught a little sniff of him, but not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, Wilton's strong enough in that first sector there, Rusty. And just some in-car there from Fotido's car just to help you understand what he's up against there tonight in the long tail.
Yeah, it doesn't look like fun at all. On the flip side of the conversation, I think the KTM guys are having a lot of fun, even though Stu Arrowsmith does appear to be stretching the legs out there at the front in the Audi. I'm just riding on board with the KTMs. They all look quick around the corners. They all look, really stable. JB's currently running in P3. You got John Carter in P4. So it's a KTM second, third, and fourth at the moment.
Yep.
Just being outshined by Stu Arrowsmith in the Audi, and who's in tremendous form.
And then it's just Audi.
Yeah, that's right.
So you did call it though early there, Rusty. The KTMs would come. That the cream was going to rise to the top there, and they really will perform here well tonight.
Well, yeah, we're only 10 minutes into the race too, so I really want to start seeing, we were talking about tyre deg before the race. I really want to make sure that Audi's nice and clean at the end of the race. If I'm Stu Arrowsmith, I feel like he doesn't have to drive the wheels off it at this point. He can just find a comfortable, consistent pace, which I think he's doing. And, maybe looking after that gear a little bit for the end, because the KTM will be strong at the end of the race just as much as it is on fresh set. So.
Suffering by 8 kilometres an hour through
Wilton
the speed trap
guys.
is the KTM.
It's bad luck for Steve Wilton.
Quick replay of Wilton into the chicane. Just leans on the loud pedal. Unforced, turns the car.
Just might be struggling. He has done that a couple of times during the race. It's funny when you have one corner in particular, and it's probably more often than not a setup thing, where you've just got one corner that for whatever reason the car just does not want to go around, So I'm sure he'll iron that out in between races. I'm sure it's a quick fix. And
Shields on Melling. Melling with a good start, upper position, like you mentioned earlier, J-Man.
Yeah, and look, Nev Shields looked good in official practice. I think pretty well coached by Dewey Aerosmith during the week. These guys testing and tuning this Audi ready for tonight. So he'll get better as the night goes on, and Steve-O's going to feel that as he fires it down the inside.
Oh, really did show some intent there, didn't he, J-Man?
Yeah, it took a lot of curb to try and get that done, and Steve-O just held his nerve and took his line. But he'll be fully aware that he's there now after that, because you bet that he knows that was coming.
These two have been, racing together a little bit here and there during the season, so I'm not surprised to see them going at it again. It's always great racing up and down the field if you're watching the replay here at Asrnz. This is our off-season league. We've got the GT3 season coming up. It's always good racing as Melling just goes a little wide and let Nev sneaks through yet again. So
a little deep into one. There. Yep.
Yeah, but always great racing up and down the grid, isn't there, guys?
Sorry, very fast stop from Aerosmith, 5 seconds and 28. It's as quick as it gets. I'm a little surprised that he did it. However, now that he's come out, he has got quite a lot of fresh air up the road to the 585 car. 585? No, that can't be right, because the
778 Carson in P7 currently, the last of the cars who is yet to stop. So he is the top of the pit stop
cars
runners.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, he's got 13 seconds on Fodderdo. So that indicates just how dominant this Audi has been tonight in Stu's hands. Really connected well with the car. I'm just riding on board with him now. It's very small inputs. Everything is, nice and predictable.
To stay in front, he has the gap. So.
And I actually think, I'm just looking at the stats, the data I'm reading at the moment. I think it was probably, I question whether it was a good time to do it. Yeah, you mentioned that, Chan in there. We'll watch that.
Out now. Aerosmith passed.
Based on the fact that there's 14 seconds up the road to the likes of Sam Carson, Steve Melling and co that have still got to make their stops, with just over 16 minutes left in this race, I think this could be fresh air for Nev. For Stewie for the rest of the race.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now it becomes a Rory McIlroy with the last 4 holes of the US Open, right? Yeah, it becomes a mental game now for Stu, doesn't it? Because we were talking before the show tonight, J-Man, about when you're not used to running at the front of the field, your mind can wander a little bit.
Yep.
You can project forward to how good it's going to be after the race. Look, I'm sure everyone's done it at some point. You're on for a really good result and you think, oh, how good's this result going to be? And just as you're imagining yourself after the race on the podium or in the hot box or something, bang, you're in the wall and it's all over. So it's very easy to do that. Just got to keep himself, calm and concentrated.
Focused.
Yep.
Yeah, but another critical phase to this race that's just happened, obviously, Vic Chan in the lane, 8-second stop versus Stewie's 5, 31 seconds outright versus Stewie's 28, and that's clearly what you can see out on track now, that he took that margin from 1.9 to 2 seconds, is currently sitting at 4.2 seconds. So, if degradation if deg is an issue for Stewie at the back end,
he's buying himself some time, isn't he?
Well, he is. He's buying himself some margin to be able to just maybe be a little bit safer, or unwind a little bit of lock here, there, just to ease the pressure on the tyre a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on those lap times. But yeah, 4.3 seconds now the margin. So, and he's still got 13.3 up the road to Steve Melling, who, as you mentioned, guys, just got overtook just before by Nev Shields. Steve, I won't give that away. He'll be there for the rest of the race with Nev.
Well, I thought Melling definitely had the measure on Shields anyway. But just a little unforced error into one there, J-Man, a little bit deep, and got out in the sand. Shields passed, but look, Steve-O hasn't gone anywhere. Look at he's right there.
Yep.
Still hunting the back of Shields' Lamborghini.
Shields with 6k an hour faster.
Oh, there you go.
On his car than Steve Melling. So that will be set up. That will be just the difference in setup. Potentially aero.
So might just be could have got a tow that lap too.
He could have got a tow for sure. Yep.
I'm just riding on board with Steve-O now. I definitely feel like Nev's getting the better out of that last turn, which was my suspicion, because this straight, the speed trap's on the straight. And it's all about that last turn, isn't it? How well
Mm.
you get out of there. And he really does come off that really well. Holds a lot of speed. You know, it's pretty flat through there.
Yep.
You know, if you get your setup right, and Steve-O is having to lift and, you know, just play with the throttle a little bit to get round confidently. So,
Yep, definitely
there's-
losing some time there.
absolutely.
Look, a little over halfway already, ladies and gentlemen. 13 minutes to go here in ASRNZ's Race of Champions. It is round 6 at Zandvoort. Obviously, all this proudly brought to you by the good people at Race Command and Match Fit Entertainment. Hit the like and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and don't go anywhere. 12 minutes or so to go in race 1 here. Round 6.
This race, Dave-O and J-Man, this is going to be a psychological war of attrition. So if you look at the totem pole, and here are the gaps between the current runners. You've got John McDonald currently leading, has yet to stop. Stuart Smith is provisionally in the lead, currently running P5, but you've got a 5.5 second gap back to P2, then a couple of seconds back to P3. This is the closest battle on track right now. It's half a second between Melling and Shields, but we've got nice big chunks of time, you know, 2-3 seconds between all the runners. So what I mean by psychological war attrition, this is the kind of race where it's not going to be the fact that you're hounding the car in front, Shields diving into the pits. It's not about how much you're hounding the car in front. It's about you versus the track now, right? So you're trying to claw back 1 or 2 tenths from the guy in front. It's who can be the focused for the longest and just put their laps in and not lose concentration, because it's easier to lose your concentration when you're in this kind of a race. You know what I mean? You're just kind of out there alone. It can be easy to, you know, just project forward a little too much, get a little bit sloppy because you don't have any pressure, you know.
Easily done.
Good stop from Shields, 5 seconds on the jack. Gives him a 28 outright. So where does that play him? He's going to come out amongst company with Shane Fodderdo. Covers the inside line. Shane's going to try and go the long way round. And Shields defends it.
Well done.
So that's exactly where we thought it might have ended up there.
Yeah, 100%.
With Fodderdo in amongst Shields and Melling. Melling yet to pit. Here, 11 minutes to go. It's going to ramp up here as these these pit stops equalise. So only we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got McDonald, Carter, and Melling yet to come in.
And Melling could still play a part of that Fodderdo Shields battle based on them, you know, Nev defending into one, Shane, you know, that probably not going to make the best lap time for Shane that lap. Probably not going to be the most accurate out lap.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but
You're
you really want to ride on board with Shano at the moment and just watch a bit of the wheel work. Just have a look at how much he's having to fight this Porsche. He's going to have broken arms by the end of this race. Just get on board and have a quick look, and just look at the amount of input that's going into that steering wheel to keep this Porsche going. It's incredible.
Melling to the pits.
So Melling obviously clearing off that Shields pit stop the lap before as they round the final corner, J-Man. A very long final corner here at Zandvoort. Where is Melling?
Yeah, he's now 8 seconds on the jacks. That's not going to help him in that battle with Dev Shields and Shane Fodderdo.
Oh, yeah, well behind. Yep. So you just saw in the background there you can see Melling's Lamborghini, the red and black Lamborghini, now behind Fodderdo and still behind Shields.
Yeah, and he's got Sam Carson, who's just come through turn 1, who's not too far away with 10 minutes to go, so got to put the laps in.
Yeah, he'd want to get that thing up to speed, wouldn't he, with Carso on his tail there, Rusty. So, McDonald and Carter. The final 2 cars to stop, and the time is winding down. 9 minutes here. These guys will want to be starting to think about it pretty soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy play, though, from the Carter and McDonald cars that they're going to run long. McDonald just stays out for another lap. What does Carter do? We're about to find out. He stays out also, so they're going to run this thing right out to the end, all this fresh air.
And just as you know, we're watching them run across the line there. Here is Asrnz onto the back straight. So
Yeah.
they've only just disappeared around the corner when Aerosmith is on the straight there. So
Yeah, and they're going to burn at best 28 seconds stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, through the lane. So
I do suspect McDonald's going to come in this lap. He does have traffic ahead about 5 seconds up the road, and he might just get close enough to think about, well, yeah, maybe I'll just get out of this now,
Yeah, so, 12...
well, he knows he's no threat to Aerosmith anyway. Like, John's a smart cookie. He'll know what his times are looking like and the gaps are looking like. So
I reckon he should think that he's going to be comfortably P3. That's where I think he'll end up.
He is going to be comfortably P3.
Yep.
He's going to be about 4 seconds, 3.5 to 4 seconds by my calculations behind Chan.
Yeah.
About 4 seconds behind Chan for third. And comfortably. He doesn't have to do anything special. I don't think he can do it either way.
Let's see if he comes in this lap. He's just taken 2.5 seconds out of the car in front, who's a blue flag car. Just wonder if he's going to come and bring it in. No? Yep. Here he comes. Yep.
So Chan and Aerosmith running a second quicker than McDonald. I think, was it McDonald? No.
McDonald has
a couple of tenths quicker.
Yeah, McDonald has dropped into the 36s this race. He actually 2 laps ago ran a 36.9. But look at Aerosmith. On the best lap of a 36.2, last lap round 37.2.
Chan across the line as well.
37.6, so he's still lapping quicker. Hence the 4.5 second gap. Now, John McDonald, where does he come out, guys?
4th position, as you guys called there.
And then Carter will come on the pit.
Yep.
And he had around 4.5 seconds. So Carter's really going to be in the danger zone with Damien Jones, like big time for the top 5.
Oh yeah. And if he drops out there, then they're going to invite Shields and Fotido into the discussion as well, because they're only a couple of seconds behind too. So very easy to lose time at this track if you get involved in little scuffles and little fisticuffs. Very easy to lose a big chunk of time here.
That's actually going to be a really, really big fight with only a couple of 3 minutes to go by the time he brings this car in. Expect to see John Carter in this lap, I would say. This has got to be the moment. It's either this or the next one, but I'd be going this one. At least I've got a lap or so to fight.
Yep.
Yeah, get yourself back in the fight, get your track position, and see what you can do for the last 5 minutes of the race.
It is the biggest downfall, isn't it, for running so long? Is you leave yourself no time for the
Here
fight
he comes.
back.
Correct. Well called, J-Man. Good pit entry.
Yeah, very accurate. Very accurate. He's on the limiter, first gear, and on the limiter a little bit back, but the byproduct is sometimes we see the guys leave it late and slow down to like 42k an hour. His slowest was 50.
Yeah, there's also a little funny little kink in the pit entry too. So some guys do slow up a little bit more just to make sure that they don't whack it.
What was that?
McDonald. Oh yeah, McDonald's
5
got him.
second stop.
Where's Sharks? Oh, this is going to be very tight here at turn 1.
He's going to clean these guys up. He's got them. But the battle is on for the back end of the race.
So Sharks, after sitting in a little bit of clean air there for some time through the back end of this race, hasn't he? And now finds himself in a position where he can gain a position.
Now, this is the opposite to what we're seeing first and second. So now we get to see an Audi behind the KTM and see if it can utilise all that straight line speed. Because like I mentioned, there's about 8k an hour through the fast stuff that car's good. So,
and Carter's lost a little bit of tire pressure just going through pit lane, probably cycling up around the end of the lap. So if you want to get it done, you got to do it while your tires are hot and theirs are still coming up, right? Really strong performance again tonight. Wasn't his last race a top 5 as well? So here's another guy. How many guys are finding form in this race of champions, guys? Stu Aerosmith currently leading, Carter, Jacques, Shields we mentioned before, all running good.
It's a great leveling platform, isn't it? Like the multi-car class, it doesn't get much better than this.
Look for the run from the Jarks Audi out of the final corner down the straight. I reckon that's final corner's a strong suit for that car. Here we go. He's just a little bit too far back.
He gets it up under the wing pretty damn quick though.
Yeah, that speed advantage down the straight for the Audi over the KTM, noticeable there to the naked eye.
Yeah, and he wasn't even up under the wing yet, so it was just downright pushing the air, power.
If he can be closer, I
reckon he's got a 2/10 advantage down the straight, so if he's within 2/10 when they hit the straight, then he should get past him.
It's currently half a second at the moment, so just needs to work on a really, really tidy infield. You can see he's a lot tighter coming up through the triple rights here. He's a lot tighter on the apex. Picked up a little bit of curb.
Yeah, just want to keep it tucked in so you don't have to understeer it around there probably in the Audi compared to the KTM where you can really swing it out wide and kind of swoop it into the apex a little more.
Oh, he misses the apex there, well wide of the apex there. That will hurt. And this is the part of the lap that he really needed to start building the margin closer.
I do worry about what kind of aero wash is coming off the back of that KTM as well. You know, what kind of dirty air situation you have to deal with when you're chasing one. Can't be too easy.
No. So, a minute 37's the lap time. They cross the line with a couple of minutes to go. So we are going to get to see 2 more laps in this race, guys. There will be 2 more laps.
So
Chan just taken 4. Sorry there, Davo. Chan's just taken 4/10 out of Stu last lap. So, you know, maybe the KTMs are coming good at the end of the race, but unfortunately, it's far too late with only a couple of minutes to go. So
yeah, damage is done, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it's 4 seconds to make up, and only 2 laps to do it. Could be Stu just lifting off a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think he knows he's got this in the bag. No, don't make any crazy mistakes. Don't push too hard. He could probably bank a couple of high 37s, low 38s here and still get the job done quite easily. However, Damien Jones right on the back of Carter now.
Yeah, that is getting very close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as close as he's been. He could have a look coming down here.
Oh, big dive.
Yeah, that wasn't the place. He really needed to set it up for down at this tight right-hander at the bottom of the hill. That would probably where he'd be best having a look down the inside here. But yeah, just put maybe just made the run a little bit too early.
Yeah, I still think turn 1's probably the best shot that he's got. So your job through all this section is just to stay close. Like, you're not trying to overtake. You just want to stay close, and then have your shot at turn 1. He will have to defend for a lap, though.
Yeah, he will. So, Dewey just crossing the line for the final lap.
He's nice and close this time around, within that magical 2/10. The KTM will take this corner quite strong, but as long as he can get on the gas nice and early, which he does, he's flat.
Yeah,
riding the
nice
curb,
run.
a little lift around there, going around the apex, but sticks it back in nice and early, gives it a little twist. Now I think he might be close enough here. This is going to be the one. Yep, Carter defends heavily. He knows it's coming. Swings around the outside.
Goes to the outside.
Carter's just got to park it on the apex, which he does nicely. Leaves him space. Well done, both drivers, but well defended, John Carter.
Yeah, I think it's the bottom of the hill, guys. I think it's the hairpin right at the bottom of the hill. He's got to try and set it up through the momentum through that roller coaster coming down the hill and just try and be patient.
Yeah, he definitely takes a naturally, you pointed it out earlier, Jamie, he takes a naturally tighter line through there, so that would be the place. I don't know, 4/10 behind now, 3/10. Looks a little too far. Gonna have to be brave here to pull it off. He is.
Once again.
Big look.
Oh,
Contacts
and Jarks.
He certainly had the car plenty far enough up there, but I just don't know if that's a great spot.
Shields taking advantage of that. We're going to replay.
Pulled it well though, J-Man. That was going to be the spot on the last lap.
We will just pick up a quick replay on this before we watch the leader run across the line.
Smith rounding the final turn now.
Yep.
So unfortunate there for Jones. Bit of overlap. Carter had to come in there.
Well done.
So
Aerosmith
Aerosmith
whips it up.
across.
He's excited. He's happy about it over Vic Chan for P2.
That'll be
McDonald rounds out P3.
That'll be a popular win in the paddock too, I think.
Absolutely it will. And Carter holds on after that big, bold attack for Damien Jones.
With Shields directly behind him in fifth.
Yeah.
Jones licking the wounds in sixth. Vonado with arm
Great
pump.
for P7.
7. Milling dropping a position there into 8th. Carson in 9th. Phil Turner coming around the back sector of the circuit for 10th. As is Kenny Simpson hot in tow. Wilton in 12th. Rivers in 13th. And Bear Grylls rounding out 14 there, guys.
All right, we won't muck around. Races. We will bring John McDonald down to the box. Quick chat, JB, you got us on comms?
Copy.
John McDonald.
Mate, fantastic race, mate. Went for the long play on the strategy. Worked out pretty well for you, mate. Tucked back in there. No real threat from 4th, but second just that little bit step too far, but a great result in 3rd position, mate.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up, bro. That's how she went. Fun little car. Turns really well. Try to drive it as straight as you can to save some tyres. But
What's the dig like, mate?
it was. I could feel it at the end, definitely.
Front or rear?
Front pushing. Yeah, front
Okay.
left, front pushing. But yeah, no, it was good. I was watching the battle behind me with Jarks and Carter. I was keeping an eye on that. I knew that was going to be close when they popped out of the
Spicy.
pits, and it looked like that was pretty cool. So well done to Stu. He was rapid. And Vic. So yeah, no, it was good fun.
Thinking any setup changes for race 2, JB?
Maybe a little bit of diff and just a slight pressure change. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, P3, mate, like J-Man said, incredibly well done. And it's only a couple of races back for you, isn't it? So it doesn't take you long to get in there and start mixing it up again. It's good to see.
Yeah, no, just jumped in tonight. No pracky. I actually thought we were racing the Ferraris at Monza tonight. So I got that wrong.
Next week, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
Hi to Aaron and Tauranga too. Have a good flight tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah. G'day, Aaron.
G'day, Aaron.
All right. Well
Nice
done,
work,
JB.
JB.
Mate, talk to you in another 40, mate.
Yep, hopefully. Sweet. Well done, lads. Cheers,
Top,
mate.
Good on you, mate.
Right.
John McDonald,
then-
everyone.
And then the next guy we normally bring down last, but he's just decided to mix it up a little bit here tonight, and we'll grab him for P2. Vic Chan, you got us on comms?
Yeah, mate. Hey, guys.
Mate, g'day. How are you? Great race, mate. Out there chasing Stewie, but looks like he's got a bit of equipment underneath him tonight, mate. And
Yeah, got nothing for that Audi. So quick.
second was a valiant effort though. You chased him off the start, but look, no real threat from third. How's this car set up? What's the tyre dig like? What do you want more of? What do you want less of?
I'm not too sure. I'm struggling with my wheelbase. It keeps coming a bit loose, so I keep tightening it after every session, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I'm trying to sort it out now.
Okay, so we're looking for a Loctite sponsor for Vic Chan.
Nope, I don't think I got anything for that Audi, especially coming out of that first or the second hairpin. Is it that bank hairpin?
Yep.
That Audi just goes. I don't even know what to do. Can't do nothing. It's got too much power.
Okay, but car the KTM looks really, really good through the tighter shaft, the chicane. Certainly turn one, turn 2 looks solid, but I think once the momentum gets up and you start rolling down the hill, that Audi's got some good about 8k an hour on you, I think, in a straight line, Vic. So
Yeah, I think it's up the hill. Like as soon as we exit that bank in,
Yeah.
going up the hill, he just pulls away. I can't.
You got
can't get
nothing.
traction or I don't know. It seems like it's just got too much power heading up the hill. But yeah,
well, look,
produce to Stu there. It's too quick.
yeah, and your championship combatant not here tonight. We're missing Steve Rees, so
Yeah, that's huge.
obviously a big kick, free kick as well as far as that battle goes, Vic. So looking to come out of this one pretty solid.
Yeah, it looks like makes it easier for the championship win, I guess.
No, definitely. Oh, all the best for Q2 and race 2, Vic.
Cheers,
Great
guys.
job, mate. Thank you.
Well done, mate. Great drive.
Big fan, everyone.
Now, this guy ought to be absolutely pumped up over his performance in qualifying in the race. Stewie, you got us on comms?
Yeah, mate. How you going?
Mate, how good? Mate, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I'm stoked. It's my first ASR win, so
I was wondering that. I was going to ask that. Well done,
Yeah.
mate.
And you made it look easy, buddy.
yeah, I think a bit of an advantage there with the Audi here tonight. I mean, the KTM, I don't know. Vic was talking about maybe had a loose steering wheel or something, so that won't help.
No,
Yeah,
no.
pretty
You
good.
got to take it, mate. You got some quality Audi steerers out there. You've got the likes of Damien Jones and Steve Melling,
Wilton.
Steve Wilton and co, mate. These guys,
Neville Shields.
yeah, they can all pedal, mate. So you're doing this purely on merit. And talked to you during the week, and I mentioned to you about I thought you were in a really nice patch of form, mate, across a range of different platforms and manufacturers. And mate, long may it last, because you are doing a stellar job, mate. That was beautiful race start. The way you pulled away and covered off into turn one, and then just built the gap, I thought was impressive. You talked about tire dig during the week, mate. How was it?
It's a little bit taily towards the end. I sort of worked to try and pull a little gap at the start if I could, not knowing if I was going to be able to on Vic because he's so strong. But yeah, got that gap out a little bit, and I thought, right, I'm going to pit and just manage it. And I think the last like 8 laps or so, I think I was in the 37s. I was just sort of just managing those tires.
Yeah, okay. And I noticed in the quali session, mate, when you guys cycled up, you did let the KTM go on your first flyer, and kind of had that as a carrot. Was that a strategical play there at the start of quali there?
I was more worried about getting clear air. Honestly, I came out and I was thinking, my first lap will be all right, but I might run into a bit of trouble. But I punched on, and the second lap was a hell of a lot better. So I just, as soon as I crossed the line with I think it was a 35.7, I thought, yeah, that'll do, and I just parked it.
I
Mate.
saw that. It was a big statement.
Congratulations on the win, mate. There's only KTMs behind you. The KTMs finished second, third, and fourth. So, and behind them are the rest of the Audis. So you are kind of one out in front of the pack here. So congratulations. I thought I was riding on board with you a fair bit. Just looked like you were really connected with the car. You weren't putting too much input into it. It all looked very calm and natural. And we were debating, whether or not you might be saving a little bit to make sure that those tires are friendly at the end of the race. But mate, it just looks like everything's humming. The setup's working well. You're not having to fight the car to get time out of it.
Yeah, it's pretty stable. I mean, even straight out the box earlier in the week, it's pretty good in its default package. Have to thank Jordan Moss for getting us a Go setup, and I've had a little tweak with that. So thanks, Mossy. But yeah, I was thinking that the KTM would be better on its tyres being a lighter chassis, and that Vic would come back at me at the end. So that's why I sort of just like lifted out a few tenths. Just in case he did come back at me, but as it was, it sort of all panned out, and mate, bloody stoked.
Well, mate,
Yeah,
you're on for a
should be.
Sorry, Joe. You're on for a perfect round at the moment. Fastest qualifying session, round 1, race 1 win. Go and back it up. Do it again, mate.
Yeah, 100%, mate. We're right behind you there, Stewie. That is Stewie Aerosmith from P1, race 1, and he started from the pole and just clean sweep led the whole way. So well done, Stewie.
Stellar job. We that's a wrap. That's a wrap for race 1. Thanks, Mr. Aerosmith. You have joined us here at Asrnz Race of Champions. It is brought to you by Race Command and Matchfit Entertainment here at Zandvoort tonight. We are going to take a quick intermission. Hit the like and subscribe, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to the coverage of Asrnz's Race of Champions, proudly sponsored by Race Command and Match
Nice
Fit
catch, Davo.
Entertainment.
Nice catch, mate.
Woo! Did I get it? Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it. You caught it. Just caught it.
Just.
Well done. He's a real pro. That's why people tune in here to Match Fit Entertainment. Pro moves like that. If you know,
Mate,
you know.
That's what they tune in. That's what... Look, we are back. We are back in Q2 for race 2 here for round 6 at the Zandvoort. First race was, well, it was good. Nothing, no too much of a major battle there. Asrnz running away with it, and a great win from Asrnz. First, like you mentioned, guys, in the post-race interviews, first Asrnz win. He's been around for about 12 months or so, I think.
Yeah, probably a little bit longer, but yep. No, he's definitely earned that one, and he's found himself out there in Q2 with a big pile of fresh air. So that'll serve him well. Stewie, I think he has got further up the road is the 585 boat tail of Shane Fodderdo. So there's a little bit of margin up the road. Probably going to get 1 or 2 laps before, if anything, if he catches that car. There's a little bit of margin. So he'll look to go and bank another one. We saw how confident he was in Q1. Parked the car early, parked it with a few minutes to go. So if he can bank this again, does look super comfy out there. Vic Chan, you heard him say in the hot box there wasn't much more he could do with that KDM. You got to question whether now, with the absence of Steve Rees, whether he actually feels like he has to do too much more than a P2 here tonight.
No, he's definitely going to make bank with the whole drop round situation. So no, smart play from Vic tonight. You know, half the battle is kind of figuring out where you are in a pack. A lot of the time, you know, where is my real pace? Where should I be? What kind of time should I be doing at my level? Vic knows all this because he's a regular winner, so he knows exactly where his pace is tonight. And I suspect, like you said, he's going to be smart enough to say, okay, well, you know, it's still definitely push, because if, you know, Stu drops a wheel off or anything like that, and it's definitely not race over before it even starts. It's not the nature of racing. Anything can happen. But if it does kind of pan out like race 1 did, then yeah, find your pace, bring it home, P2, and make a bag of points on the way out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Chen, you know, clearly understands, you know, he's only as quick as the machinery underneath him, so...
some hardware issues as well he touched on in the hot
Oh,
box.
he did. He needed to get the Loctite out, like J-Man said, or, you know, maybe a couple of zip ties, something. Just work something out.
Oh, that's first flying laps are super close, boys. 36.7, 36.7.
Yep. Could be a little bit of setup tweaking going on in between races as well. We've seen that throughout the championship so far, haven't we? J-Man guys improve maybe 1 or 2 spots. They get their head around the car, their head around the track, and just a little tweak here and there. You know, JB said he was going to have a little look at the diff, maybe play with that a bit and see if he can extract a little more time. So he may get closer to Chan as well. So there's a lot still to play out here tonight.
Oh,
well, I think he's a genuine contender now, based on the fact that we saw he qualified well in Q1. However, had that little bit of incident down at turn 1 with his teammate, with Steve Wilton, which really checked him up and gave Chan and Stewie the opportunity to check away. Now, if McDonald can put this thing, once again, as he is at the moment, on the second row and really challenge with a clean start on Chan, I actually think he could give Chan a few things to think about. They are in the same machinery. Both quality drivers. I think he could be certainly an option to battle for second position.
Yep.
Well, I tell you what, he's about 4.5 tenths up on his previous best time, now 6 tenths. 6 tenths up.
Nearly 7.
That's going to put him in front of Chan at that pace. It's got
Chan's
to
about to match Stewie here on the lap. Stewie just banked to 36.1. Chan's probably going to do pretty similar, guys.
Yep, that's very quick.
They're mirroring each other at the moment. Yeah.
So McDonald up around the final corner here with, he did bleed a bit of speed off there, Rusty.
He did, yes, last turn. Up to P3 though. But look at those times. A 136.117 for Arrowsmith, a 136.137 for Vic Chan.
Yeah, not as easy this time around for Stewie.
No.
He's not going to be able to park it early. He's going to have to keep pressing on.
Melling
And
on
probably-
Carter. Melling just pipping fifth provisionally. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, he did too on cars. Yeah, I see that. Another big mover and shaker is Nev Shields coming in hot. Where is he in the lap? He's in the mid-sector
Oh,
there.
yeah, he's just started the lap there.
Oh, no, he's
so-
just started a lap, sorry.
Guys, you guys have the temperature. It just looks, to my eye, I don't have the temperature. It looks a little more overcast, a little cooler out there. Is that correct?
Funnily enough, it actually is an optimum track with a bit of overcast, but we are seeing about +3 degrees on the track temp than what we saw in race 1. So,
Is that right?
yeah, so a little bit warmer at midday here. So
Okay.
a little bit warmer, but a little bit of cloud cover. So be making good horsepower. Track conditions probably quite good right now.
And Arrowsmith will go into the 5s again, the 35, should I say, 35.9, and pulls that car up again.
Hey,
with
look,
a-
he needed to.
well-
Jan's
well-
coming with a better lap.
Well, a 35.7 he did in Q1, pulled it up and was still 6/10 in front of Chan. Here comes Chan now, down on
He
his
just
Delta.
bled a little bit of time out of the final
Yeah.
quarter, Davo.
Just wonder if the heat or something in the temperature, the overcast conditions, anything like that. I just feel like the KTMs are a little closer. Race 2 collectively, it can't just be everyone doing setups. I think the whole
I
pack
agree.
is a little closer to Stu for this race 2. So yeah, it's going to be game on. He's going to have to concentrate. Chan might pip him here. I think Chan's very close to doing a mid to high 35 here. He's definitely got it in him.
And also Neville Shields in with a 137.2, pipping Fodder and Wilton and putting himself in provisional 7th. So nice work with Shields. He's raced a really good race 1, and yeah, definitely looking to keep up that momentum as he slips and slides out of that first hairpin.
Chan's got about 2/10 to make. Stu has parked it up. He's in the pits. He's standing on a 35.9. Chan's currently 2/10 down on his current lap, but I believe he is setting up for another crack at it here following this lap. So he's got 2/10 to make up, and I have seen his delta skipping around that 2/10 mark at various sectors. So I guess it's putting a whole lap together here, right? If he can do that, he may get in front of Arrowsmith. He may pip him for P1 here. It's going to have to be a hell of a lap, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of red on the deltas out there at the moment, boys. There's not a lot happening this lap. Carter really just level pegging with what he did.
Watch this lap, though, from Chan, because I feel like he was setting up for this run now. So we'll just keep an eye on his delta and see if he can make a little bit of time. Because I feel like if Chan, let's say in an alternate universe, an alternate reality, Chan qualifies P1 ahead of Stu Arrowsmith, he has the inside running. Do you feel like Chan's chances improve with track position?
No.
No?
No, but based on the jump, the straight line speed we saw out of Stu Arrowsmith off the start of the last race, I don't think it matters what side he starts on. I think he's got the car pace, he's got the straight line power to make turn 1, cover Chan off before they get there.
I'm just thinking back to race 1 when we saw it was John Carter and Jarks fighting. Jarks in the Audi. Went around the outside. John Carter defended heavily in the KTM, but with the corner speed entry that the KTM has, he was able to just kind of park it on the inside of the apex and keep that position. So it does defend very well, the KTM, and I just wonder if Chan could hold Stu back for 2 or 3 laps and might bring himself into the race.
But it won't be a factor because he's about 3.5 or 3/10 down. This will be the final lap that he gets to do it, so he won't get to do it. John McDonald, however, on the slight improve, won't be enough to bother Vic Chan, but Carter is on the improve as well. So John needs to improve here, although Carter just a little wiggle.
Melling's on the improve though, J-Man.
Yeah, he is on the improve.
And he's enough
Big
to get
time.
Carter.
Yes. Yeah, Carter's parked it. McDonald.
So Steve-O's up by enough at the moment.
He's definitely enough at the moment to Carter. And has he tweaked the setup in between races here just to get that turn? And we noticed him just backing out of it a little bit into this final corner there
Oh,
in race
Definitely
away a
one.
little
better that
bit.
time.
Look at this. Oh, but he bleeds the speed off anyway. Carter in fourth, Melling fifth.
That's going to be a race. That's going to be a battle to watch, though.
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole fourth, fifth, sixth. Carson finding his form again, finding his speed. We knew it wouldn't take him long. Qualified P10 in race one, P6 in race two, followed by Nev Shields, Shane Fonato. We know, his caliber, his pedigree.
Yep.
Steve Wilton, Damien Jarks. These are quick guys who are a little bit down, so I expect them to be putting a lot of pressure on higher up the field.
Well, that little group there you're talking about, that Neville, Shields, Fonato, Wilton, Jarks. It was it was starting to get in there at the end of the first race. So I suspect that's going to ramp up a little bit for this race two. Arrowsmith and Tan again on the front row of the grid. It's like Groundhog Day. We've got John McDonald, Carter, Melling, Carson.
Melling with a good qualifying.
Melling with an exceptional qualifying. Wilton down a little bit on his first qualifying. Carson in sixth. Shields also good qualifying. Fonato down a little bit in eighth. Wilton in ninth. Jones in 10th, but watch that space. Good starter. Turner 11th. Simpson, Rivers, and Grills rounding out the 14. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to go again here at Zandvoort? Race 2 for the Asrnz Race of Champions. Proudly brought to you by Race Command and Matchfit Entertainment. It's round 6 in the 8-round series. Plenty of yet to come.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Dave. I feel like McDonald, Carter going to go to battle. Aerosmith Chan will go to battle for a little bit. However, I think Stewie has got the upper hand there. He's just got the outright raw car pace. But that Melling, Sam Carson, Nev Shields, Shane Fonato, Steve Wilton, Damien Jones, you will get a 5-way battle for sure out of those drivers there. And then equally so, Turner, Simpson, Rivers, Grills, they will go to war as well at the back end, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we are going to see probably a really good two battle packs, and then probably a little battle pack at the front between McDonald, Carter. I'm not sure. I'd mentioned that maybe McDonald got a little bit of something for Chan, but
yeah, but I don't know.
Unfortunately, guys, news from the paddock. We have got word that Vaughan Martin has retired from the rest of the evening. I believe he was also an early retirement in race 1. So some kind of issues for Vaughan Martin. So unfortunately, that's one of the big Pro-Am challenges down for tonight. And if we cast an eye to the totem pole, as you mentioned, Steve Melling, Mr. Pro-Am, Mr. Consistency, P5. That's a pretty good qualifying effort in this field. So
nice work. As the time ticks down.
Now, John Carter's performance, sorry, Davo, in race 1 and then potentially in race 2, 9:48 plays 8:42. This is Shane Fonato versus John Carter in the championship. Just looking through the field, looking at potentially what would be Shane's drop round versus Carter's. That's still got a bit to play out with 3 rounds to go between Shane and Carter, given that Fonato's taking a bit of pain tonight in the long tail Porsche.
Interesting. So with Martin obviously DNFing the 2 races tonight, that's going to propel Arrowsmith, who's got a race win already tonight, fastest qualifier for race 2. He's going for the Triple Crown now. That will give him the opportunity to make a load of points in the championship. I expect him to be pushing around that kind of top 4, top 3 mark by the end of tonight.
Yep, for sure. Going to be really interesting to see how these points shake out. But yeah, to get back to your point about the race start situation, if it's what I think it is, once again, obviously Stewie has got the inside line. I just thought the jump off the start procedure the first race, I didn't think that Vic was napping. I thought he picked up the throttle pretty accurately. It's just that Audi's just got the punch. So
Yeah, and that's the problem, I think, with the KTM. Now, like I mentioned, I think it's a good defending car versus the Audi. I think it can keep the Audi behind it, especially in someone like Vic Chan's hands. But I feel like he's probably only got 2.5 to 3 laps at the start of the race. That's when the Audi is at its weakest, right? Because it's cycling up. Then it just clicks into gear and it's away down the road.
Mate, that's straight.
You want to be in front of it.
That straight is too long for this KTM.
Now, the KTM was also warming up its tyres at the same time, don't get me wrong, but that's the best opportunity. I feel like if you can get in front of the Audi in the first 3 laps, you've got a better chance to kind of turn it, to drag the fight into the dirt, you know what I mean, and make it difficult. And that's probably your best shot, but it's a big ask. It's a heroic send on, the first 2 laps on cold tyres. So good luck, players.
Yeah.
The other thing to mention too, Steve Melling will be starting from the inside of John Carter on the start-finish line straight. So that's another Audi that's got punch over a KTM in front of it. So watch that space, the 713 car on the 559. Yeah,
he could get a couple of them if he plays it right. Just hugs that wall and gets in there.
You just get right up on the box at the start procedure, really start to apply pressure because I think, a good opportunity there off the start of the race for Steve-O.
As the boys start to form up here for race 2, round 6, Zandvoort in the Asrnz Race of Champions, brought to you by Race Command and us clowns here at Matchfit Entertainment. Hit the like and subscribe button. This is going to be an awesome race, guys. The guys forming up now. We're about to go green. Asrnz on the inside. Chan, front row. McDonald, Carter, Melling, Carson, Shields, Faraday, Wilton, Jones, and again the Lamborghini. Look at the jump.
Melling's
and
losing
like
off
you
the
said,
start.
Yep. Oh, Melling he got on the throttle and he got back out of it. It really, really cost him there.
McDonald.
He was also a long way back too in the start procedure.
McDonald on Carson nicely. Back to that Melling. Faraday, Jones battle. It's Melling. It's Carso actually in there.
Yeah, Melling just ever the gentleman there. Just didn't force the issue.
Well, just let's see how long that long-tail Porsche lasts in front of Melling, I suspect. It does have some punch in the straight line, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Tell you what stands out too, J-Man, it's the fact that JB and John Carter have stayed much closer to the back of Vic Chan's car in race 2 than they did in race 1, so they're in the fight.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
Both in the KTMs there.
Yeah, it's a melee of KTMs, really, after the fact.
It is. What is a group of KTMs?
I think it's a herd.
Pop it in the chat box, guys, if you got any ideas.
Yeah. It's not a gaggle, it's a giggle, it's something.
It's Asrnz, again, just gaps that field. Uses the power of the Lamborghini immediately. And then, yes, this gaggle, we'll call it, of KTMs. Vic Chan, John McDonald, Carter, Carson as well. Faraday, the first odd one out in the long-tail Porsche, and then Melling in the
Melling's
Lamborghini.
going to have a big look here.
We've got a couple of boys in the pits. Couple of boys.
Was that Sharks?
I think that's Sharks first up, and also Turner. Neville Shields just tucked in behind Melling there. Yep.
Great livery on the Turner car, guys. I have to point it out. The purple and honeycomb orange army khaki fatigue look. It's,
it works.
It's a winner.
It works.
Oh, Damien Jones, a little bit snaggy at the blocks on the jacks. However, it was a 5-second. And it was very, very accurate. So well done. 5 seconds and 28 versus 6 and 28 for Phil Turner. So albeit 6 seconds on the jack for Turner, it hasn't really cost him a lot because the overall time was still 28 seconds.
John Carter just sticking with John McDonald, guys, looking really comfortable in the car. I've been riding on board. And he is bringing a familiar name with him, and that would be Sam Carson. His first race back tonight, limited run this year, as we mentioned, but it's good to see him back out there on the grid, finding his feet, finding his pace, and hanging on to this top podium battle.
Just under 0.8 of a second at the moment for Stu Aerosmith, bouncing between 6 to 8 tenths of a second in these opening laps. We saw this off the first 2 laps of race 1, where it just took him maybe 2 or 3 laps to cycle that car up into its operating window, and then really made a little bit of bank once he broke that second barrier. So we'll get a read this time round as they come around the final turn and they come across the line. The margin is 0.630, so that's quite stable. As we see how strong Vic Chan is down into turn 1 as well. So also Wilton into the pits now.
So look, I'd expect look, the mid pack will be in hot competition. I think this race, and I think Wilton probably covering off Jones's pit stop there. I just wonder whether Melling would come in as well, but Melling traditionally would run long, wouldn't he, J-Man?
He does like a long strategy, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He likes to settle into his work, does Steve-O, and then look, he's tucked in. I think probably the key factor here will be if he feels like Shane's holding him up at any point.
Guys,
yes.
Sorry, J-Man. Guys, Vic Chan's definitely doing his best to, our suggestion before the race, which was send it on the first 2 or 3 laps. Yep. He's doing his best to fulfill that prophecy. He has set the fastest lap of the race, which is not something that happened in race 1. I feel like he's a lot closer on the back of Stu here. It was around this time, say, next lap, where this gap got out to just over a second.
So let's see remembering there was a little bit of contact in T1 there. Just at the bottom end, like in that second or third row there, Rusty. So it did allow the gaps to vary. But you look at that there now, all the way back there to Shields. The guys running across the line after 3 laps.
Very close.
Quick succession there.
Carter needs to be worried here because
I think so.
He's got Carson's looking really, really racy behind him.
And he's close. Yes,
yep.
So as does McDonald's sort of pulling enough just to get himself in some clear air now and focus on the back of Tan, but really doesn't have anything for Tan's pace.
Yeah, look, and I don't think Melling's quick enough to run with Sam Carson. However, I do think he's quicker than Shane Fodderdo. So if I'm Steve Melling, I'm going to take an early pit stop here and get out from underneath the wing of that boat tail Porsche and just undercut him and try and bank a 6th position here in race 1.
Yeah, look, just not even the pace that it might hold you up, but it's so distracting just watching that thing wave around in front of you.
As we speak, guys, Smith has that gap back to Vic Chan out to 1.3 seconds.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. Last lap round 36.4 versus 36.5, so I suspect you're going to see a difference in the lap speed here this time around. So Stewie's probably on a hot one on something towards a low 36.0 or something like that, I would think. Based on the number.
Do you think he would be feeling the pressure because Chan's that little bit closer, wouldn't he? And do you think he's going to up the ante?
Okay, so no, yeah, absolutely. So it wasn't an overly impressive lap by Stu. It was just a little bit snaggy on the lap there from Chan in the mid phase. He did come back a bit towards the end, but 36.4 plays 36.7. So here, that Carson Carter battle is certainly spicy, as is the Melling Fodderdo one. So the irony of Shane Fodderdo versus Steve Melling is, funnily enough, Steve-O will just be absolutely loving this to be now to go toe-to-toe with somebody like Shane Fodderdo as well. So,
look, we've also bashed the Porsche. Well, I'm just going to own it for the whole team. I've bashed the Porsche.
No. You can own it.
On behalf of MatchFit, we have bashed the Porsche this season.
Yeah.
But the thing that's most frustrating for Steve Melling in this situation is that Porsche is very quick in a straight line. That's the problem, right? So it's actually quite difficult to get around.
Well, it'll match the Lambo. I mean, that's the thing, So it is going to be hard to get past.
He's going to be a little cork in the bottle here soon, though, Shane, because he's got Melling, this is sucking, Nev Shields into the battle as well. So it's about to get very spicy here, I think. Yeah,
and we saw what went on with Shields and Melling in race 1. Those guys very tight in battle. throughout the a fair bit of the race, but definitely towards the back end of the race. So, yeah, that's going to ramp up very quickly. Very early stages here.
Guys, I just
Vic
want to
Chan a
mention
lot
Chan.
closer.
Yes, I was just going to say Chan has reduced that gap this lap around. Just
So
wonder.
Harrison
Yeah.
Smith made a mistake.
No, he hasn't made a mistake. They're both, actually 37-1 wasn't a great
yeah.
lap from Stewie.
That's
Yeah.
This is
true.
a
Yeah.
36-6. So, is he just pacing the car at the moment? Is he just, mentioned about?
That's a bit
Yeah.
close, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if you drop kind of 5/10 pacing the car. I think that there must have been some kind of mistake. But that's all it's going to take. And it's going a little too deep into a corner and losing 2 or 3 tenths because you're watching the relatively,
Easily
watching
done.
the mirror behind you. It's so easily done, David.
Yeah.
And
But-
that's all Chan would need,
But then you look and saying that with 0.6 of a second across the line, and then bam, within the first sector and a half of a
2
lap,
tenths.
he can pull it out back out to 8-9 tenths of a second.
Yeah.
So he's got the car underneath him. He doesn't need to stress. Like at the end of the day, he doesn't need to stress. All he's got to do is just drive the thing straight, and the car's got enough pace. And I mean, because he's up against a formidable competitor. We've seen how Vic Chan in the modern Asrnz era is probably one of the most winningest drivers we've seen.
Well, we just said it there, just in those last couple of laps there. Chan's lap time's not wavering, and so the slightest mistake from Aerosmith, and bam, he's there. He's in touch. And
We also-
but just in saying that, in that last sector, Chan
Stewie to the
on
pits.
2 wheels. That's early.
Interesting.
So Chan with a little bit of an untidy final sector there in that last lap, and Aerosmith head down and into the pits immediately.
Interesting call from Stewie. A lot of the
After-
field haven't pitted yet, and I just wonder if he might be putting himself unnecessarily into some kind of traffic situation here. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
Oh,
So I thought that in race 1, Rusty, but if you met a little bit of a jump on the box there, that wasn't quite probably Stewie's. I'm just going to watch the timer here. No,
Clean.
it was very, very quick. 5-second stop.
He was quick
Clear
last
track.
race.
Very clear track.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it works out well. I just want to say too, further to that discussion you were just having, we can't also underestimate the feeling that Stu would have right now after getting that first maiden win. When you get that first league race win, if you're lucky enough to have a league race win, because you mentioned he's been in really good form across a bunch of different platforms, Matchfin Entertainment involved with Trans Am racing on R Factor 2. He's doing the Masters Series on AC over at Asrnz.
Yep.
So he's mixed up in a lot of racing. So to get that reward for that effort, to get that race win, your first race win, it's worth like 20 confidence points in your character build.
All
You know
day.
what I mean?
All day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, quick shout out, Davo, to Steve Melling. It's got the company of Nev Shields. That's become a 3-way. And I've just seen in the last half a lap, Steve-O's intent to get past Fododome has just gone up 110%.
Fantastic.
Okay. So we called this. We knew this was going to be coming.
Yeah.
And you called it, J-Man, earlier. Does Melling get in now, or Shields get in now even?
No, I think they're enjoying themselves too much. It's a bit of a it's a bit of a menage a car out there, isn't it? They're touching and feeling.
They're loving this stuff. Grins are plenty. Melling a little bit deep. We see him do that every now and then, J-Man.
Mate, I tell you. Chan in the pits trying to cover off Stewie. He's on his way out. Where is Stewie? Stewie's covered him off. Down into turn 1. Stewie runs it off into the ground.
Oh, it's a mistake.
That is a big mistake.
Chan sneaks through.
Oh, I tell you what, he's just
We'll get a replay on that.
overcooked it, trying to cover off the Chan overcut, sorry. He had it done.
Oh, I feel like that's a bit of mirror watching potentially.
Well, I tell you
Looking
what,
down a straight.
I'm excited as we pick up on this replay. I am excited for the reason being is now we get to see how much pace that Audi's got on board.
Well, and we get to see if the theory is correct that the KTM is a very good defending car here. It's all going to be in a straight. Stu's already within 4/10 of him, so he's going to. I suggest he's going to get right back on the horse here and try and get him down.
The replay shows
He
it
just didn't
clearly
need
there.
to go that far, did he?
No,
But
not
look,
at all.
he's already on him.
Like Rusty mentioned, it looked like it might have been a bit of mirror gazing there.
I think
Yep.
so.
You know, like, and just trying to look back to see how far back Chan was, and all of a sudden, there you are in the sand trap. Here we go. This
Look,
battle is on. There's
on
still
car pace.
plenty going on though, with Melling now coming in to the
Yep.
pits.
On car
Oh,
pace,
and he's
I
hot.
would have said that Stewie Aerosmith comfortably get past this KTM. However, you watch Vic Chan here. He will just defend the inside line to one all race long if he needs to, coming down the straight. If he needs to go to the inside, he will just do it. He knows how good he is under brakes.
Yeah, and that's the move we saw in race 1, wasn't it? Oh, he's a little bit taily there.
Carson in with Melling,
Carson
both
as
off the
well.
jacks. Steve-O
Melling,
got him.
Melling looked like he came in hot.
He's
Comes
clear,
out
mate.
cleanly. Nice
He
work.
comes out. Who's that with? Is that with Damien Jones? Was that the Wilton
So-
car? No, it's the
That's
Damien
right.
Jones car.
No, that is Jones's car.
Woo.
Wilton
Carson here.
already back.
Carson having a big look around the outside of Jarks.
Jones.
So why was that? That's because Sam Carson had a 12-second stop, guys. That was the only reason that, yeah, so...
Little rustiness, perhaps. That's where you
Yes.
see it, isn't it? In things like your pit stop routine and stuff. That's where the rustiness shows more, I think.
Now, because remember, Steve Melling was in a battle with Shane Fodderdo and Nev Shields. So, off the back of a 5-second stop for Steve Melling, 28 outright, he's in a good position and he's got clean air because he has got those two battling behind him.
It's developing into a very interesting race. Stu Arrowsmith now finds himself in a difficult position.
He
You've
does.
got 15 minutes of the race to go. I don't think this KTM is going to be easy to pass. I think on turn 1, Chan is going to park it on the 8. That's all he needs to do is just put it on the inside and park it on the apex, and he will have the better of it.
Look how close Stewie is here, though, mate. If he can get under the wing of this thing, we know it's got straight line speed.
He holds it flat around that last corner. Very brave. A little too far away, I think. You've got to be within 2 tenths to
He
get
needs to be
alongside.
closer.
Yep.
Oh, and he fires it towards the inside, sends intent to Vic Chan, says, mate, that's where I'm going to go. Don't leave me the opportunity because I will go there. Now, he's well there. I think the other opportunity is where we saw Damien Jones have a look on the likes of, I think Nev Shields. No, it wasn't Nev Shields. It was John Carter in race 1. So as they come down the hill, look at the strength. Here is the speed builds. We heard Vic Chan talking about how strong this car was running up the hill. Look, he is right there. Fakes for an inside move. He's already up the inside. Says, thank you very much for coming. I'm going down there, mate. Beautiful move from Stewie Aerosmith.
Fantastic move. That was incredibly brave. We did notice in race 1 that the Audis seem to enjoy the tighter line into that turn, don't they, J-Man? And that, you know, that just goes to show if you're brave enough, if you can keep your foot in it, give yourself a little look.
Yeah, David picks up on the replay because that was a heart in the mouth sort of move. It was exactly where Jones looked on Carter. Stewie Aerosmith done down the inside. That's a big move. Even the likes of Vic Chan would have been impressed with that.
Well, if he goes on to win this race, he's definitely earned it. He can't say that it's a manufacturer thing because that's well earned. And that was a good pass on a very difficult track to overtake on too, Zandvoort. You do have to be brave to make them stick.
Big smile on my face, guys, from the quality of racing we're seeing out there. And I tell you what, Nev Shields has taken the place of Steve Melling where he left off after he went to pit stops by just peppering the back of the whale-tail Porsche of Shane Fodderdo. So Shane has had no reprieve from pressure from the start of this race.
Yeah, the guys aren't above a little bit of gizzing on the car in front. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to Asrnz, gizzing we've dubbed doing that little Van Gisbergen move where you just tap, 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 tap on the rear bumper. So that's gizzing. And the guys aren't above a little bit of gizzing action out there on track, are they?
It's a perfect analogy.
And look at this Melling Jarkus / Carson battle is bloody awesome. But I can't help but feel like Steve's looking in the mirror too much. He's missed a few apexes in the last lap. He needs to eyes forward because he's got a great opportunity now to actually undercut Fodderdo and Shields because this is definitely going to become a 5-way battle inside the next few minutes.
Look, Melling finding himself in a couple of threesomes already tonight. He was in the middle of it there just a little bit earlier. And now, very wide for Melling.
Yeah, gets it back though. manages to save that, does a good job.
Still got the rights to the inside for this one. Very
Yep.
tricky little complex of corners here. A couple of the very few off-cambered corners. Most of them are like really well cambered. So,
there's a couple of-
Jones.
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 There's a couple of ways you can take that corner too. There's not one.
Oh,
kind of
Jones,
field line, big dive.
Jones forcing it on the outside,
Carson through.
and
on
Melling just left the door open. A little bit of a slip in the rubber, the dirty bit of the track, and Carter passes well. How about that? Let's get a quick replay on that. Wow. So
Steve
Jones,
just succumbed to the pressure there. He just sort of
Jones flashing the headlights only moments before.
yeah.
Melling just dirtying himself. You can see him get that car straight and just literally jump on the throttle. Just go, no, Carter's passed. And it's all done.
Yeah.
Great
Big battle
racing.
going on there.
Great racing. Shields on Frodo.
Oh, Shield on the outside of Frodo.
And Frodo back around.
He's
See,
been
he-
incredibly patient, Nev Shields, for the last couple of laps, and I think that patience is starting to run out. I think he wants out of this now.
Well, mate, if he's not aware, he's going to be
Oh,
shortly
fuck,
to realise that.
We're going to pick it up on a replay here just to see what we're going to... Oh, okay, with Shields with a tap on the back of the long tail, just shortening the back
Little
of that
gizzing.
Porsche a little bit. Little
Yep.
gizzing. And, yeah, now Shields addressing that. You can see that clearly on the replay.
But this just bodes back into the battle, which is Jarks, Carson, Melling, that these guys could potentially come out if they're going to keep battling like this behind Melling. And look, they were well in the fight, but if they're going to battle like this, and Shields is in the lane,
He's going to try and undercut Frodo here.
well, he needs to. The more
Well,
he
he
gets
does.
involved in that, the further back he's going to go. Give you an update
So
on his
Melling,
pit stop
Melling
time, guys.
Melling dropped off a little bit. The back of that pack. Those guys actually just spread out a little bit, giving each other a little bit of space. No doubt they will regroup in the next, what is it, 10 and a
5
half
seconds
odd
stop.
minutes. Shields
seconds
coming
stop for
out.
Shields.
Shields coming out in behind. Melling, will he get Wilton? He
Yep,
has
he got
got
Wilton,
Wilton.
yep.
Yep. So nice work. Chan, Arrowsmith, should I say, all over Chan.
Yeah, he's pulled that to nearly 1.8 to 2 seconds now. So once he got that pass done, he just really shown the car pace that he has got. So I just wonder at the start of that race, boys, we saw how close it was. Was Stewie just preserving a bit too much tyre and really just allowed himself to come into the clutches of Vic Chan? And
Well, do you
look,
think he might have got out of rhythm? You know how hard it is to back off sometimes, isn't it? When
Yep.
you sort of get into, you get out of that rhythm and out of that groove, so.
now, just remember, guys, you have got John McDonald and John Carter out there. Now, I think John McDonald is once again a sure thing for third position. However, Carter, 4.8 seconds back, and then another 16, Frodo, 2.6. So I think Carter is definitely, I think he's definitely going to be in a battle in front of
Frodo, yeah.
Damien Jones. Yep.
Guys, if I can just take a quick second, you mentioned earlier what clean racing it's been tonight. It's actually surprised me. I expected a lot more lap one stuff. It's a tight, twisty track. It's a roller coaster track where it's difficult to overtake, and it can get very frustrating if you're stuck behind someone. But since we mentioned, the driving standards that we have here at Asrnz, I just want to give a quick little shout out to all the drivers out there. I did the race briefing before, and I mentioned to everyone that I think we've had like 2 or 3 incidents.
Oh, sorry to
Sorry,
interrupt
what's
there. Shields
Frodo.
on Frodo.
The outside.
Yeah, that is freaking Wilton just tucked in behind there. We
Oh,
will get
Frodo wide.
He punches
Oh,
it.
no.
Shields goes wide at turn 2. Allows Wilton to get through.
So we'll just pick this up on the replay, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just pick up on Shields' car here. As he comes down the start-finish straight, you see Frodo there in the long tail, very close on into 1. Super close. Shields not
That's-
giving an inch, but then gets down to 3 here. and throws it in the grass, allowing Wilton past as well.
It's still going on. A little bit of gizzing on the Porsche down at the hairpin, the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. There's a little bit of gizzing into there.
Oh, a little
between
bit.
the
He was,
Audi-
gizzing
Oh,
all, he was
Shields.
gizzing all over him, J-Man.
Yeah, now Shields with a little bit of
Wilton.
gizzy there too. And they're side by side as they head down to the chicane with Farmer with the preferred inside line over Shields.
Oh, over the bump, so it doesn't like it.
Oh, and Wilton doing a very similar.
To Melling, yep.
Oh, it's
But,
crazy.
yeah,
No,
great.
that's what he did last lap. I think.
Yeah,
Oh no,
but,
last race. But no, different again. Look, crazy stuff going on here. Gives Neville Shields a bit of breathing space now with Wilton with that little slip up in the chicane there. But Frodo must be giggling to himself, just thinking, I don't believe I just pulled that off.
Shields is going to have another big look at him.
Oh,
here
yeah, surely he is.
into the hairpin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Update on McDonald, two guys, while we were watching all of that. He did make his pit stop, was a 5-second stop,
yep.
was picture perfect, and he is currently running P4. Once
Here we
Carter
go.
stops, he will slot.
That Porsche is sliding around like a baby
Ah.
penguin on ice.
Oh, look, it's
not
sliding
looking
around
happy.
like Shane Frodo's driving it because the way he rolls. And look, he does make that thing look spectacular. Unbelievably keeps that thing on the road. Really.
Yeah, he's
look, given-
scandoing that thing everywhere.
Mate, given the competition, these guys are really at him. And he just deals with it. And it's
He knows he's a very good defender, Shano. He knows where to put the car to make it hard to
yeah.
pass. A little bit of gizzing on the back of Shields there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look,
Is-
we have seen Frodo in some awful cars that he hated driving and still managed to get fairly high up in the championship points, mate. So he's a formidable defender.
Yeah, Carson versus Jarks are still going on out there too. You see all these guys battling earlier. They're still at it. Obviously cleared out of that battle pretty early, but
Watch the Lambo and the Porsche. The Porsche has punched in a straight line though, remembering a little bit of... Oh, he's covering. There's a bit of slip there.
Yeah, the Audi's definitely not as dominant over the Porsche as it is the KTM.
yeah,
That-
the
Yeah,
that's
Porsche's
true.
got good straight line speed.
Oh, yeah, with no slip. No, just unbelievable.
Just while we've got a quick moment here, guys, I'll just finish the thought from before very quickly. So we've only had 2 or 3 incidents reported in this league in the last, say, 4 or 5 races, and I think that has to be some kind of record in online league racing. This is one of the cleanest leagues with everyone respecting each other, giving each other space. And as you
Absolutely.
can see, it's good racing, but it's clean and hard. And, the guys, all the drivers should take the hats off and say well done, because to have 2 or 3 incidents in 4 races, it's pretty
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah, look, I totally agree.
Big dive here from Shields.
They need to pat themselves on the back, and I think
Little rubber
Shields
gets it done.
needs, mate.
He goes deep. He pushes through the corner, though.
Oh no, he's
Whoa,
watching it down there,
and
now Jones,
Wilton.
Wilton,
It's Wilton.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, because we're going to get a replay on that because
He's looking to go the
Shields,
long way round. It's still going on side by side.
Shields really had to dominate that pass and make it happen. We will get a
Oh.
replay right now.
Well, better of that curb this time.
Shields will have
Oh.
another crack, though, because he's going to be right on the back of him again into half a lap. So
Crazy stuff.
Carter exiting pits with a 7-second stop, 30 seconds outright, but look, got enough margin to stay clear for what will be P4. Oh, that's
that-
spectacular.
It's just next level. We only just caught it there too, but it's just amazing. Really close. Look, we knew this mid-pack was going to ramp up, guys. We could feel it coming. The vibe was in race 1, and now here's the delivery. Super hot stuff.
a little update from the top of the field, guys. Harris Smith is fighting the car a little bit. I wonder if that off track might have hurt the little tyres a little more than we expected. Vic Chan's still 3 seconds behind with, what, 2 laps to go from here on
a
out?
couple of laps, yep.
So
So
he had
another
something
commanding
like 4.5
performance.
seconds at this point of the race in race 1.
Yep.
And we saw Chan come back by, 3 or 4 tenths of a lap per lap in the last sort of 2-3 laps. So probably no real threat with 3.1 seconds the margin, but no such pleasure for Whangarei because he is still under massive attack now.
Massive attack. Oh, Wilton wide.
Out there in the
Shields is
marbles.
back in it now. It's all happening.
Wilton will have good drive out of here though, but
He's
will
got the
not want
inside
to go.
line.
Yeah, he doesn't like being up on that curve on the inside though.
Nah. As he rides it. Whangarei defending. Look at the two Audis. We know how Shields wants to deal with that Porsche already. We've seen it a couple of times. Wilton picking up the crumbs there on the last effort.
Yeah, he's proper close.
Shields got a good run that last turn,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
He's going
He's
to
going to get
here.
Wilton. Wilton got a run on the dirt there on the exit. Here we go. Shields on Wilton.
Very
Big
deep.
dive. He's got to run deep.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I tell you what, the hit from Farmer
It's
on
straightened him
Whangarei was
Straightened him up.
picture perfect. They're going to do a bit of gizzing through turn 3 here.
That's the two of them. Come on, guys. Get it
Still
together.
side by side. Look on the side of that Porsche. It's beat up.
Shields probably in the
Looks
background.
like a bumpy bonnet to me too on the Audi, on Farmer's Audi.
Yeah, Rubbins Racing, boys.
Woo. Getting a bit messy at the end.
3.9 seconds of margin out front. So,
Jones.
hammering the nail in now.
Looks like Jones back positions as well. We'll see if we can pick up on that. No.
Yeah, he was battling.
Oh, there it is. There
Oh,
it is.
Fonato
There it is
goes
in the
very
bowl.
wide. Guys, Fonato goes very wide and deep. Just opens the door again, slightly, ever so slightly for Steve Wilton.
So
Yep.
Jones lost to Carson and Melling.
Yes, he did. Yep.
So
Carson P5, second race back. Fantastic.
Leader, I believe I did hear, is on the bottom. So Stewie out there, just about 4.1 seconds in the lead. So really just dominant the back end of this race.
Shields probably carrying a bit of damage there, licking his wounds behind Wilton, having a lunge in a really bad place, but then
If he can get a good run here.
Fonato runs wide. So, has the Audi got it? Way back, way too far back.
And look at that, Kenny Simpson in the background.
In
Disappointing.
11th.
Disappointing for Nev Shields. Fortune favours the brave, right? He did the brave move into turn one. It just didn't pull off.
He did a couple of them, actually.
So Wilton, knowing that this is the last lap, last opportunity, build through here. We've heard how good the Audi is up through the hill here as it climbs the hill. Super strong. Can he pull one of the moves down the inside through the triple rights?
Can Fonato cover in that thing, even?
Loose across the top.
Oh, and
Fonato
wide,
very
and sideways, gathers it up. Wilton's got the inside, takes the position.
Yeah, only just.
Wow, and Fonato again sideways, right to the end.
Oh, he'll be ruining that last lap.
And Stewie Arrowsmith takes
Arrowsmith.
the checkered flag over Vic Chan, over John McDonald, in quick succession too, I might add, guys. Not a lot between them.
Yeah, very close.
3.7 and another 2.8 for John McDonald. So great race there from the podium. But
Carter
look,
out of the final corner, as is Carson just running through the final corner. Melling in the final corner. Jones in the back sector, flashing the headlights. But
yeah, he's probably got the stream playing as well. He knows what's going on.
And Fonato just leaving
11s
marks
everywhere.
everywhere out of the corners in this thing now.
Who's that coming to pits?
Oh, Wilton giving those positions back.
He's given lots of them. Is that a fuel issue?
So Shields. So what was the order there then? Fonato, Shields, Simpson, Wilton, Turner, Grills, Rivers.
Did he run out of fuel at the end?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
It'll be something
But,
we'll have to ascertain from the
Well,
paddock
look,
during the week.
hang on. How about we just quickly go to Steve Wilton and just find out what's going on there before we go to the podium. Farmer, you got us on comms?
Yes. Roger that, cuz.
Mate, clearly it's not a podium, but we just got to give you a bit of congrats on the epic racing we just witnessed there. And then at the back end, mate, was that a fuel issue or you just sort of playing a championship strategy there?
Look, I'm not on the points, but those guys can sort it out. I'm going to miss the last round, so I still felt like I beat them. Just let them have the points at the
in
end.
here, you beat them,
That's right.
but you're giving the
Sounds like-
points back.
The
Sounds like
inside
fuel
was a
issue to
victory,
me.
mate.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a fuel issue.
no.
No, you're a legend. You're a legend, Farmer.
Great
You're a
racing,
freaking
mate.
legend,
Like
mate.
seriously, that was
Awesome
a lot
to
of fun
watch.
to watch. Cheers.
Yeah, that was cool. Like going into one there, I saw Nev come down the inside of me, and I was thinking, "Hang on, we're in the same cars, and I'm only just going to brake." So I kind of saw that happening. Actually, that was fun there. But yeah, so I straightened Shane up, but then I thought, "Oh, look, let's give it back to him," because I was having quite a bit of fun there trying to get past him. So
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
having fun at your expense of having fun. It was great to watch, mate. Well done.
yeah, shot boys, because I had an absolute shit ass first race. So
You did.
that was a good way to end the night, mate. Yeah, good. Thank you.
100%. No, good to see you out there, Farmer. Cheers for the chat, mate. I always appreciate it.
Thanks, boys.
Farmer.
Cheers,
Good,
buddy.
mate.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Yep.
mate.
All right, okay. So it's status quo again for the podium, boys. So what I will do is I will bring John McDonald down to the booth and give him a big congratulations and a warm welcome, John boy.
Yeah, Roger.
Mate, another pretty much meet and drink. Had a bit of pressure at the start, mate, but weathered the storm. Another good strategy. Accurate pit stop.
Yeah, that was way better race that time. No mistakes. I don't know if you saw in the first one, I was missing apexes and going through the sand, and yeah, so that was mistake free that time. The car was a lot better, and
Yeah, he finished a lot closer to Vic in that one. It was only a couple of seconds he had on you by the end of that one. I think it was a
Yeah.
bigger margin race one.
yeah, that was from my own errors really. So I could say he still had a little bit more pace than me, but in the first one, but yeah, that was my own errors the first race. But yep, like you said, J-Man, meet and drink, good fun, good car around Zandvoort. It's always cool driving around here.
It is. It's a great track.
Yeah,
No, it is. It is. Yeah, great effort. Like a lot. Yeah, probably a little bit more exciting for you that one. There was a bit of competition at the start of that one. You had to work for it a little bit more. I thought,
Yeah.
you covered it off nicely with the strategy, and I think at the time, I think it was John Carter. I think you just no problem there with the car pace. Certainly shook itself out. So well done. Back to back podiums again, John boy. Kind of what we come to expect from you.
Oh, the pace is pretty hot here. You take them when they're on offer, don't you? But no, it's good to be in the mix again. Yeah,
Yeah,
looking forward to
absolutely.
Monza too. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
done,
yeah.
mate.
Well, even playing field once you get there, John boy. So yeah, that'll be that'll be entertaining for sure. But no, mate, well done on the racing tonight. Always good to watch, and yeah, enjoy the stream. Cheers, buddy.
Roger, cheers all.
Mate.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so there you go, and we will bring down Vic Stappen. Vic Chan, you got us on comms.
Yep, hey boys.
Mate, that one was way more entertaining, bud.
Yeah, it was tough when we got out of the pits and he went wide. I thought, oh yeah, maybe I can hold him off, but then I knew he was going to have the pace heading out of the bank corner, and yeah, lo and behold, he sent it, and I.
Were
he
you
was- he was
surprised?
doing it.
Vic?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but I had to leave room. Like I didn't want to
Yep.
take us both out and ruin our races. So I tried to over under, but then as he passed me, he dabbed the brake a bit, and I couldn't get under him. So
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
interesting.
on his part.
Actually saw it, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because earlier in the night we noticed that the Audi just seemed to be taking naturally a tighter line through that kind of weird, at the end of that back straight there. They were naturally taking a tighter line into that one than the KTM's were. So we were postulating like, oh, that's going to be the place where he does it, and yeah, sent it up the inside there. So I can imagine though you would be like, what the hell is he thinking? Like doing it here? Like that doesn't make much sense.
I knew he was going to get a run. Always just by sitting behind him, I knew how much pace that Audi had heading up that hill.
Yeah,
So I knew he was going to have overlap. So I was like, I better leave room. As soon as I saw that overlap, I just left room straight away and then tried to cut back under him, but couldn't do it. So
I saw
It's good
the-
racing, mate. It's good racing.
Yeah, I saw the dab of the brake, Vic. It almost looked like a right-hand indicator, mate, the way it
Yeah.
flashed up. And but look, I think I may have mentioned at the time, you're such a quality racer, mate. You've raced as fast and as hard as the best we've seen, and I might have mentioned that, you know, Evan yourself would have been probably impressed with the move, you know, the opportune move, and he got it done. You know, you had to agree to it, but
Yeah, for sure, that was a great move. I was impressed. To be honest, I thought he was gonna actually run wide a bit because he centered on the inside, but nope, he was able to hold it. So yeah, good
well,
job.
once again, mate, you've backed it up. I quoted at the top end of the stream,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
other than the Barcelona round where you took your pain on the Porsche, your worst finish outside of that round has been a second, and you've backed that up again tonight with a couple of seconds, mate. So it's all about consistency to build this championship, and you're doing a fantastic job of it, mate. And I think we know what's going to happen at the back end of it because of that. So onwards and upwards, mate, and looking forward to seeing yourself with the rest of the boys in level playing field at Monza in the Ferrari.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
cheers, guys. Yeah, well done to Stu. That Audi, it just seems to win races.
He was very
Absolutely.
quick in it tonight.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was super quick.
Awesome, Vic. Cheers for
Well
the
done,
chat,
mate.
mate. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. And, mate, it's an absolute pleasure to bring this guy down and just congratulate him, not only on his first victory here at Asrnz, as you heard earlier, but an absolute clean sweep of the night. 2 podiums, 2 poles and 2 race victories. And shit, did he have to earn that one in race 2, Stewie? 2 podiums.
Cheers, guys.
Mate, what's such a bold move down the inside, mate? Even Vic Stappen applauds you, mate, for that. That was fantastic stuff. We won't dwell on the bloody mirror watching at turn 1 too
Oh
much.
no, I'm going to ask him about that. So we'll get to
No.
that. Don't worry.
Yeah, carry on. Carry on.
Yeah. So, mate, how you feeling? You must be just pumped, over the moon.
Yeah. I'm going to go crack a beer. Probably watch some of the stream.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was awesome fun, mate. Good to have a wee ding dong with Vic there, and to back it up, sort of, you know, just builds confidence. So, like, I'm riding a bit of a wave at the moment. So, mate, I couldn't. I'm over the moon.
Mate,
You
I'm
are riding a wave, mate. We've mentioned about it, you know, about the performance you're delivering everywhere you go at the moment. And, mate, how good is it to go out there and go toe-to-toe with one of our most winningest drivers of the modern era in Vic Chan, and actually, you know, doing it legitimately. Obviously different machinery, but look, it was, as Rusty mentioned, you were the only Audi up there. Realistically, there was a plethora of bloody KDMs behind you at one point. I think there was 3 or 4 KDMs stacked up behind you. So yeah, fantastic effort, mate. And just wanted to ask you a little bit about the start of that race. The margin was a lot closer for a lot longer. Were you managing, or was that all you had?
I was pushing. I knew Vic would have. He had literal spanners out, tightening up his wheelbase in between that race. So, and then quali, he was a lot closer. So I knew he was going to be there or thereabouts. I could just try to get a clean start. Build a little bit of a gap, but it was only a little bit of a gap. And I thought, right, I'm just going to chuck it in the pit lane, force Vic to possibly make an error. Unlike Vic, you know, he's you know, like you just said, he's a rock solid sort of dude. So. He come out the pit lane, and I was too busy gawking at his car trying to work out his exit speed.
We knew it. We knew it.
I sailed straight on. I was like, "Oh, now I've done it." But I got going again, and I realised, and even Vic commented after the race, like how strong the Audi was in that first sector out of the banked corner.
Yep.
And that's how I got that run. I did it. Made the mistake, had a good run, following him up through there, and then a couple of laps later, I just managed to just commit and just send it in there. And Vic's such a good operator, you know, he's seen it, he gave me room. So big ups to Vic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good,
well,
good
mate.
work from both of you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
it's great.
Spectacular pass. Great racing.
When you watch
TV.
when you watch that stream back, Stu, you'll laugh because at the moment you went off, we all said, "Oh, I think he probably was looking in his mirror to see where Vic is." Mate, you know, like I'm just super happy for you. I'm super proud for you. Not only did you get your first win tonight at Asrnz, you triple crowned it. You took out fastest lap, best qualifying, and won both races. I mean, it's a 100%. You know, 10 out of 10, mate. You can't do any better than that.
No.
And I'm chuffed for you because I know how much driving you do and how quick you are. And I know that you struggled in the GT3 season because some idiot convinced you to take the Lexus. And, you know, I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that. Don't worry. I wonder who that might have been. But, so I'm just chuffed for you, mate. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's to come because, you know, I think this, you know, we're winding up this season now. You've pushed yourself right up the table in the championship. I think you'd be fighting around that 4th now. You probably jumped a couple of spots. So congratulations to that. But now I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can bring in the GT3 season that's coming up after this, mate. It's a great performance tonight. Really happy for you. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Rusty. And
It's a
both
popular one in
boys.
the paddock too, mate. Trust me, I think everyone will be pretty happy that you
Definitely.
won this one, mate. So well done.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done, Stu, mate. Very impressive. Very, very impressive drive tonight. It's the breakout drive. Drivers always seeking confidence, mate. You've got it. So long may it last, Stewie. We will talk to you in a bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good
Cheers,
on you, mate.
Stu
Um,
Smith, everyone.
And before we break away, guys, sorry to
Yes.
drag this out a little bit. There is one more guy I want to talk to. And
Okay.
I'm going to drag him down. We actually thought the Mad Lab built a rotary McLaren, but apparently Mad Mike has been peddling a boat tail Porsche tonight around at Zandvoort. Mad Mike, have you got us on comms?
Hey boys, hey, that was
AKA Slambo, Shane Fodado, mate. Like seriously, like obviously it's not a podium interview, but shit, mate, we have got to get the most spectacular driver of that Porsche down here. That was amazing stuff, mate.
How sore are your arms, mate,
oh
after that?
man, I'm stuffed. That was good fun, man. Had a few battle scars on that one.
Oh, mate, I was riding on board with you, and at times the wheel never stopped moving. Even on the straights, the wheel was going left, right, left, right. I'm like, Jesus, he's working hard for his time tonight. I'll tell you.
Oh, nothing short of entertaining, Shane. And like seriously, you probably thought coming into tonight, oh, I've got to take this piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be rubbish. But mate, you had to have had one of probably the better nights out there, irrespective of the finishing positions, mate. That's a solid effort.
Yeah, I was really enjoying that. I was laughing, just Nev making a few mistakes. I'd get him back, and I was like, oh, poor guy, he's got to try and get me again.
And then you
Yeah.
had Steve Wilton in the party.
Yeah. They just had no idea how shit I was around the mid sector.
That doesn't probably make them feel any better, pal.
They just keep surprising them how early I was braking.
Yeah. No, hey, mate, like, I just got to congratulate you. They were so entertaining, mate. Like, seriously, there was so much. Like, I saw as you were coming out of the left-hand hairpin after the bottom of the hill, just how beat up the right-hand side of that car was. I was just like, I hope that's a left-hand drive because, mate, the roll cage would be hitting you in the hips if you were right hooked. So it was proper bent. So, no,
Yeah.
well done, Shano.
Cheers, guys.
All right,
Good on you, mate.
Nice work,
Looking
mate.
forward to watching that.
Cheers, bud. All right, that's Shane Fodado, guys. Thank you. Good stuff, guys. I won't drag any more in.
It's okay. Amazing racing as usual, gents. Great to call.
Oh, truly entertaining, and always such a pleasure to call it with you boys. God, we have a lot of fun up here, don't we?
We do. I will leave tonight feeling a little like there's a part of me missing, and that's the fact that we didn't have the pleasure of watching Steve Rees be part of the battles tonight.
Yep.
He would have
Agreed.
been right up there too, and it would have been sensational. So we do hope that Steve makes his way back on track because he's a wonderful addition to the grid here at Asrnz.
Yep.
And before tonight, obviously the championship leader, that's going to change after
Of course.
tonight.
Yep.
We're heading into Monza next week, guys. So if I could just cast your eye forward.
Here we
Now,
go.
everyone's going to be in a Ferrari. Now, we did make mention during the stream that how, a big credit to our guys here at ASRNZ. We have to be one of the cleanest racing leagues that's going.
Yep.
Like we have very few incidents, and everyone drives really well
Yep.
and races
Yep.
hard. Like it's not poppycock stuff out there. It's like it's hard racing. It's clean racing. However, we go into Monza. Everyone's in a Ferrari.
And everyone's in the Ferrari.
Yeah, so I wonder if next week may be a bit of a meltdown. But hey, that's why you should tune in. Let's see what happens, right?
Absolutely. It's going to
Good
be
trip.
a whole bunch of fun, I suspect.
Oh, definitely.
The madness of Monza, and then in the most hated car in the field. So
It's all going to be set up. Everyone's driving the same car. So.
it's going to be awesome, actually, guys. Look, a couple of cracking races that really did wind up in the second race, as we suspected. Tonight, boys, it's been a pleasure again calling it with you. You guys. That's a wrap for tonight. That was round 6 here at Zandvoort for Asrnz's 2024 Race of Champions. Proudly brought to you by Race Command and Matchfit Entertainment. I've been Davo. I've had these two clowns, Rusty and J-Man, beside me. See you all next week at Monza. Wear your Ferrari merch. Click like and subscribe. Love you all. See ya.